Hey everybody, Larry and Santi coming to you with the Casual Campers. And right now we are at a beautiful state park. This is the Davy Crockett Birthplace State Park. It's not, I think there is one called Davy Crockett, but I think it's in Texas.
No, it's in Tennessee, but it's on the other
Anyway,
side.
it's two different parks.
West
So
side,
we are at the Davy Crockett Birthplace State Park. If you see the river kind of behind us, I think you can see it. This is the NOLA Chucky. I hope I'm saying that right. And then directly behind us, a creek comes in and they come together, and this is a limestone creek. And from documents from the past and talking about the family, they reference where this creek fed into the NOLA Chucky was where they lived. So that's how they've determined this is where Davy Crockett was born. This state park is just awesome. They got things set up kind of period.
Yeah.
You know, back then they got a lot of split rail fences and cabins and things, log cabins set for display. Well, first let me say why we're here. Let's go ahead and do that. Why we're here and how we found this place. Our friends Phil and Shar, who started a year to volunteer, worked out with this campground to come do some work here for them. So we came to help volunteer and do a lot of things around the campground that needed doing that either they don't have the funds for or they don't have the manpower for. A lot of state parks fall into that category. They have a lot of things they need to do, but they just don't have the ability. And that's where we come in. We try to go around and help some of these parks get things done. You want to tell them some of the things we did?
Well, we took down a fence.
We did take down a split rail fence.
A split rail fence and put it back up. We had to move it, is what we had to do. And we had to add to a fence.
Yeah, because the donkeys kept jumping out when the bad weather came around. So we added a rail to the top of that fence to keep them in. The next thing that was done, a bank. The river bank was really grown up and it obstructed the view. And so the year to volunteer cleared.
That's part of what I did.
I'm gonna say a quarter-mile worth of bank.
A lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of work there. What else? We built a amphitheater, you know, stage and seating over on a hillside. Trail
turned out really
cleared.
nice.
Yeah, that did turn out nice.
Yeah, they cleared some trail.
Made all new signs. There's like 80 signs that were made.
Yes, 80.
So anyhow, plug the year to volunteer. They're doing great work. We enjoy working with them, and we're going to do it again. This is our second project with them. So, that being said, that's why we're at this park, and then that brings us to our video. What we like to do, we like to talk about the parks we go to and what we like or don't like, and you know, give a little rating of what we think.
It's a very nice park.
Beautiful park.
The staff are very nice.
Mm-hmm.
They, you know, made sure we had everything we needed.
So if you're coming here, it's great for history. If you want to see kind of how they lived back in the, I guess, 1800s, 1800s. They got a guy on the weekend, he works for the park, he comes out and he's dressed in period clothes, and it's a little small cabin they built. It's set up like you would picture it back in that time. There's some pelts, is that how you say it? Pelts?
Yeah.
Pelts hanging in there and some other things. Hey Bills, okay. Anyway, a small bed, I mean it's a little fireplace, it's really neat.
It's supposed to be the size of where Davy Crockett was born. He was born in a cabin like that.
I bet it's probably a 12 by 12
if that big
log cabin. But anyway, he tells how things was back in that time, so that's really neat. There's walking trails if you're into hiking and that sort of stuff. They got a lot of walking trails. They got one that's a storybook trail that tells a story as you go through, and we'll show some pictures of that. There's a playground. They've got several little, I'm trying to say gazebo, yeah, pavilions. Several pavilions you can rent with tables if you want to have a party or that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we've seen several parties since we've been here.
Yeah, and I get, while we've been here, and we've been here about a week and a half, which covered 2 weekends. During the week, slows down, you know, about half full, but on the weekend, boy, the locals, you know, they love this place. They fill it up on the weekends, so call and make sure you get a reservation if you're going to come, especially for a weekend. What else? Let's see. The good stuff about the park is pretty. At one time it was a KOA campground, I think.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, the state has it now. The one thing I didn't particularly care for, which is really minor, the sites look level, but once you get on them, you're probably going to have a tire or two off the ground. That's whether you're in a camper or a motorhome, whatever. So they're not quite as level as they look. I wish they was a little bit more level. But we're near the office. Our internet has been great, so they've got internet that's provided. Full hookups on one side of the campground. The other side has water and electric and a dump station, so they don't have sewer on those.
Tent sites, there's a lot of tent sites.
Oh man, they have some great tent sites. Each tent site is sectioned off by a fence, and I'll show some pictures as we're talking. It has a parking area, a place for your tent. You know, I think it has a picnic table, a fire ring.
Yeah.
You know, you have your designated spot, and it's right on the bank of the river, so the tent spots are absolutely beautiful. This park is in Northeast Tennessee.
Yeah, close to Johnson City.
Yeah, it's not far from Johnson City if you're looking on a map. That's about where it would be, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about.
It's really pretty.
We love
here.
this park. It's a small park.
It's really, really pretty here.
Well, the parking area is kind of small when you think about state parks. It's about 80 sites total, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
But anyway, they're a little tight, but hey, no worries. There's plenty of places to get out and walk around, walk your dog, go see things, see the animals. They got sheep and donkeys up there.
Lots of children.
A lot of children. This is a great place to bring the kids. Bella's pulling her a little bit, but
it'll take me for a walk, I reckon.
Okay, so we normally rate from 1 to 5.
I'd give it a 5.
I'm gonna say 5. Even with the spots not being perfectly level, I still give this park a 5. You can't go wrong coming here. So if you're in the area of Northeast Tennessee and you want to get out and do some hiking, see some wildlife, you know, learn a little history about Davy Crockett. He was a master mason, by the way. I got to throw that in since I'm a master mason. This is a park to come to. Hey, by all means, come visit these guys at Davy Crockett State Park. Davy Crockett Birthplace State Park.
Right.
See this beautiful river. It's a little bit brown right now. We had a couple of days of rain, but and it's up a little bit. But normally it's just pretty here. It's really pretty here. The staff's great. The campground's nice. By all means, we give it a 5.
It's very clean.
Come see them at Davy Crockett Birthplace State Park. Till next time, casual campers, Larry and Santi. We'll see you down the road.